Average age of the young Americans serving in uniform today is 20.5 years of age, making him about 10 months older than his grandfather, who would have served in my war. He's a high school graduate. He's a volunteer. He is brighter, better educated, better trained, led, and equipped than any soldier, sailor, airman, guardsman, or Marine of any country in history. He goes to work wearing an 8-pound Kevlar helmet, a 45-pound flak jacket, and today in Kandahar, it was 110 degrees, and he'll hike up those hills and walk back down them without complaining. He's been taught chemistry and physics and ballistics and avionics and electronics to operate and maintain the most sophisticated weapons and equipment ever designed by the hand and mind of man. He can use his body like a weapon, and his weapon like part of his body. And he can take a life or save one because he has been so remarkably well trained.
My name is Shiloh Allen Harris. I was a Staff Sergeant in the United States Army. I retired in March 2010, and I was stationed in Iraq. February 19, 2007, I was injured in Iraq. I was on my second deployment with 1st Squadron, 89th Cavalry, out of the 10th Mountain Division, Fort Drum, New York. It was a fairly normal day. We did have a few things, that just wasn't in line, that make you feel real comfortable when you're out in sector. We got called to investigate a possible IED. The road that we transitioned down is a road that we normally walked. We walked the road because it was so dangerous. Unfortunately, we didn't have that luxury that day. We were driving down the road slowly, as cautiously as possible. I was the third truck in the convoy. As my truck drove across it, the IED went off. I don't really remember a lot about the initial blast. I remember waking up and I'm in the passenger seat. I remember trying to call off a radio report right after the blast, and I looked and the cable was burned off of the hand mic. So I was like, okay, well, I got to get out of the truck. It was hot. It wasn't burning, but I knew it was hot. I knew I had to get out. And I kicked myself out of the vehicle. I get to the point, where I'm trying to look around, trying to figure out what's going on. I'm trying to figure out where my soldiers are. Some of the guys were saying that I was trying to help direct. I was trying to tell them, hey, pull security over here, do this over here. And everybody's like, hey, just come over here. Let's get you fixed up. In my mind, I didn't realize how injured I was. I knew that my bell had been rung pretty good, but I had no idea, that I had been burnt and damaged to the point that I was. Well, I'm laying there on the ground and I hear the helicopter coming in. The crew chief, the guy on the helicopter, he's looking at me and he's like, hang in there, we're going to get you there.
The stuff here is more important, more powerful than anybody will ever realize. I woke up, I had both legs gone. They were bandaged. I had this bar sort of affixed to my face to hold all the jaw pieces in place. There was a plate on the jaw as well. No teeth. Everything was wired shut, and I had a cast from my armpit to my fingertip on my right hand. I was at Walter Reed for the better part of 2 years, just doing rehab. As soon as I was out and in rehab, somebody approached me saying that there was a Wounded Warrior Project sponsored ski trip to Waterville Valley on the East Coast. And they said, I've heard you're a skier, I'd love for you to come. And I wasn't sure. I was still in pretty bad shape. I wasn't walking. I was in rehab, still in a lot of pain. Eventually, they convinced me to sign up, and I did it. And, I was real grateful to do so because it got me out, it got me going, and it got me dealing with the situation that I was forced to deal with.
We want to get these warriors moving off the couch, physically involved, feeling good about themselves, and that helps deal with the stress, the combat stress, and daily life stress that they're facing. We absolutely take a holistic approach with the warriors. You just can't treat the body. We have to treat the entire warrior.
Didn't you notice? He was wounded. That's what we do. We're Americans.